very high, so we'll see what LAPD's next move is on this one. But again, they have authorized pit and spike, so hopefully that will be able to bring this one to an end.
Yeah, and Des, Amy Johnson joining us here at the anchor desk. Amy, they are technically in tracking mode right now. We saw a bunch of those units kind of behind the vehicle that they're chasing there, but you saw that LAPD helicopter right on top of it.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that it was kind of surprising how empty the roads were at this time of afternoon, 3 o'clock, when, as Des was saying, so many kids are at school.
Hey.
This is that time, and this driver, fortunately, what we've been seeing while Des has been overhead is that it hasn't reached really high rates of speed.
Pit.
It's still
We're going to get a pit.
Dangerous. And especially because of what this person is wanted for, Mike.
Yeah, and you see this unit, this Topanga unit. Let's see if they're going to do the pit.
Too late.
Oh, so close. That would have been not a great spot right there because you had a ton of traffic. But they've been authorized for the pit. They've been trying to do.
Yeah, I want to do the pit maneuver. Is Stu in the air? Oh, there's no audio to this one. Supposedly they're armed. Pit maneuver. Oh, let's go, baby. Oh, he swerved on you. He swerved on you. He swerved.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas they not like us. They not like us.
Swerved on you.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand.
Wow, he swerved on X. Experienced criminal thief. Wow. Hit me with the light button. Help me out, man. Oh, they're really trying to nab this guy. Oh, man. Oh. He knows what he's doing. Here we go. Another. Oh, but he's swerving with it. He's swerving with it. Nah, you ain't catching me, Pip. You ain't catching me. Damn. You thought he was under the influence, but somehow he seems to be driving better than a sober person. How is this possible? Multiple swerves, multiple dodging. Look at this. They're trying again. They're trying to ease up with the Ooh. I don't want no. I don't. Oh, he's pushing. This is it right here. Oh, he knows though. He knows. He already. Oh, tight. Nah, Pimp, you're not catching me. Every time the cop closes in, he makes a turn. Man. Oh, hell no. And what are they driving? A little box Scion? A little Scion thing? Oh, man. Let's go back. Well, I don't know. I don't want to change the screen, though, because it's intense. It's intense right now. Let me tag everybody here. That guy, were they tracking him now? All right, let's switch while we can. Skirt!
Which kind of thwarts the plans of LAPD to be able to get that pit maneuver done. Now we see that unit kind of backing off. So they may have gone kind of back into tracking mode after a couple of failed, attempts there at that pit. And there he is, still coming.
More aggressive there. And, that was through those residential streets. That makes it a little more dangerous. And Mike and Des, I don't know if you've heard whether or not there's anyone else in the vehicle. We've got these tinted windows, harder to see. Do we know if there is just that one driver in there?
As far as I know, there's only one person in. Des, I don't know if you've heard any different, but I believe this is only one person. And remember, this is an incident that we believe stemmed from something that happened very recently. This isn't a situation.
Oh, they're coming again. They're coming again.
Ran a license plate, and now they're after the person. It sounds like this was a fresh alleged assault with a deadly weapon, which we believe is that knife that person may have. So it sounds like this is all really fresh, and they're just trying to get it under control. We do know that they have the license plate of the suspect as well. So obviously they'll run the car and see who the registered owner is. We have not heard that it came back stolen or anything like that. So they may have an idea of who the person behind the wheel is.
Exactly. And joining us now is also our Juan Fernandez, who is also joining us as we continue to watch over this pursuit this afternoon.
Watching this pursuit unfold now here in the streets of Reseda, you know, when I was watching the many attempts at the pit maneuver, those had to have been some of the shortest city blocks I'd ever seen. And just as they were about to do the pit, he made it to another intersection and obviously was able to get away. And very dangerous driving here, not going too fast as you see here, 30 to 35 miles an hour at times. But again, these are residential streets. Desmond was mentioning about kids getting out of school, traffic being a little heavier. And look at this, he's just trying to make his way, threading himself through those two cars right there. Luckily, Mike, we haven't seen any collisions or any attempts or, you know, nothing like that, right? Here we go again.
Yeah, no, and at 50 miles an hour, that's kind of, that's a little bit of a high speed there for a pit attempt. So I don't know if he was actually going to try to do it or just trying to get himself in position. But no damage that we know of. It doesn't look like, and Des, you can see the car better than I can. I don't think there's any damage to the car that I've noticed either. And for the majority of this, the speeds were, you know, look, when we launched Desmond, the speeds were like under 10 miles an hour.
Let's go, baby. No
so
notification
this is
gang,
a lot
right?
faster than the way this thing
Hit the like button, please. 148 likes, 1,000
so
people.
this is
Come on.
certainly a lot faster. And here on the right side of your screen is all of the attempted pit maneuvers that they did. And you see, as soon as that unit gets right there, he feels it, sees it, and, you know, makes a turn into a neighborhood or is able to speed up.
Oh, that was earlier. That was earlier. Okay. I thought that was
that have happened several times. So LAPD has approved those, obviously, as we're seeing them, and you know, hopefully they'll be able to get into a position where they can actually get them. But for now, we're still continuing through these neighborhoods.
Those were at least 3 attempts, Mike, right? 3 attempts at a pit maneuver. And what's interesting is there's traffic coming in the opposite direction. So if there was a successful pit, there's a chance that there may be a car coming in the other direction who could get involved in all this, and that could be a big problem here, right?
Yeah, and then you see the helicopter as well. In addition to the pit maneuvers, we've also heard them approve spike strips. The problem is this person does not stay consistently really on a road long enough for them to be able to set that up. We've been generally in the same part of town. We're still in the west end of the valley in like the Winnetka, Reseda area, which was kind of where he's been bordering throughout, and that is not far at all from where the assault with a deadly weapon call originally came in. My colleague on the desk in Selma was able to get from LAPD. That happened to the 20,400 block of Baltar Street, which, if you're familiar with that area, is basically kind of near Mason and Roscoe. So which we're on Roscoe right now. So not far at all from where, you know, this alleged crime happened and where he's been kind of, you know, going through this parade in the San Fernando Valley. And now, Des, it looks like we don't see any LAPD units that close behind him again, right?
Yeah, they've definitely backed off a little bit. My pilot Dylan up here letting me know that they have kind of backed off a bit. So maybe we'll see if they're going to be kind of changing tactics on this one and just monitoring more from the air and hanging back.
Too wild, can't catch them.
Something like that, that is when the suspect kind of has more room to run. If they get out or go into a parking structure or something like that, that is the flip side of, I mean, definitely public safety concerns here. I mean, you see him come up to that wrong side of the road as they squeeze through Winnetka and Parthenia. You can see, you know, Parthenia, people drive, you know, 50 miles an hour on that street. This guy's just going right through the intersection like this. Totally ridiculous. Just determined to come right through. Really, really close one there. Westbound on Parthenia. I think he's got the window down right now. We can see if we get a decent shot of the suspect while that, and the window goes right back up. Right
went back up, yeah.
So, westbound on Parthenia.
That's a little sea out, man.
Really, you know, speaks to the danger as we get into afternoon rush hour right now. You saw that school bus that they went by as well. So just a lot of factors, but backing off a little bit for now. Maybe there was a time where the suspect was going around kind of the same neighborhood, and there might have been a good opportunity for a spike strip, but I don't think they were really able to get any set up at that point to be ready for it. As we are now on Oso Street, so on the edge of Winnetka and Chatsworth here, heading northbound. I hear the officers asking right now if they would like to, I think it's the airship asking if they want to re-engage, so we'll see what the watch commander says about that.
Yeah.
And no interest in going towards the freeway either. You would think that would be definitely a safer, quicker way to get away from this area. But as you were saying, Desmond, he's staying in this area here, the West San Fernando Valley. We're in the Winnetka area there, Chatsworth as well. And we're seeing some video from earlier once again. Some very dangerous driving, that left-hand turn as you saw there on Winnetka Avenue and Parthenia Street. Narrowly missing a car, and again, just doing whatever this driver can to get away from police. And again, this is an assault with a deadly weapon suspect that police are have been in pursuit of for quite a while.
Yeah, and oftentimes when they say in these close proximities, when they're almost doing circles there, you wonder if they're going to try to jump out, if they're trying to get to a familiar place to where they can run and hide. So this one seems to now be branching out just a little bit more and definitely picking up the speeds here.
Oh, faster.
That we're watching right now, probably some of the fastest driving that we've seen there for a
Uh-oh,
while.
he's
And we
coming
also
back.
See that black and white, that cruiser
Another
right up
pit.
there behind
Again.
them. And now they're up into a busy intersection here.
Drunks out of the road.
It seemed
Oh,
like he was
boy.
going to go into those opposite
Ooh.
lanes of traffic, right?
Yeah. This makes it a little more dangerous for everybody else out there on the road.
I heard the.
He's back.
I believe,
Reverse pit.
Come on, let's see if they're going to have an opportunity here because
Let's go.
This is a good place for a pit.
Let's go, baby. Come on. Oh, you guys too scared, man.
So close, and it's just crazy how
Let's
privy
go.
he is to this. And there we go.
Do it!
Right around.
Ow!
Good one. Wow,
Great
wow.
pit maneuver there. Really good, and let's see if this is going to bring it to an end. Amazing.
Reverse,
Any
reverse, reverse.
Vehicles or anything. So
Wow.
while it may have
That
done
was
some
excellent.
damage to the cruiser, that was a fantastic pit right there. And
Oh, he's getting
this
out.
vehicle
Damn,
kind of
door
with
flew
its
open.
boxy shape, I feel like was not able
Should've
to withstand
reversed.
it. And
Maybe the car
let's
can't
see
move.
if after all the attitude he gave the officers, the door is open. They're out with their guns drawn, lethal and less lethal, and hopefully that shook some sense into this suspect, and we're going to bring this silliness to an end.
Yeah, you can see that officer down there on the right-hand side there giving him some commands, using his hands as well as to what to do here. So we can't really see him yet. Let's see, he's behind the window. Is he on the ground there, Des?
No, not
No, he's
No,
still,
no, he's still
in the
sitting
vehicle.
there.
Yeah, let's see here. We're going to peek inside, but we got the door open, so that's one thing. But
Oh, man. What's in his hand? What do you got in his
reaching for the
hand?
waistband.
no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And reaching for the waistband right there is
definitely.
not what they want.
Yeah.
They think he's got a knife.
No. Yeah.
He's already been pretty
Yeah.
non-compliant.
I mean, that's how-
Yeah.
He's got 1 foot out. Well, he's got one
Yeah,
foot
things
out.
can
I
go
don't think he's
south
going
really
to.
quickly
Yeah.
when you start reaching around like that with your tinted windows. You see the officer down there shouting out the commands, and I hear the airship now. They're bringing in more units just to block the street right here on both directions to make sure to keep everyone out of this. Because as we're entering rush hour, Winnetka, pretty busy street here in the West Valley, kind of actually in the middle of the valley. You see a shoe peeking out, but yeah, I mean the jig is obviously up, but the suspect is hesitant to give it up.
Yeah, that pit maneuver almost landed this suspect right into a parking space right there, Mike, right along the sidewalk there. And I think we have that pit maneuver queued up to show our viewers once again. This happened just moments ago here. Here it goes again, and we saw cars going in the opposite direction.
Wow.
Incredible that this officer was able to do that. And look, it just almost backs into a parking spot right there next to, I think, what might be a bike lane, right?
Yeah, it's like textbook. You
Yeah.
know, that's exactly what
Yeah.
they want. Mm-hmm. Exactly what they want. And he did get out initially. You wonder if he thought maybe I could make a run for it, but then thought maybe not.
Yeah,
Still
and
doesn't wanna
there's
give up.
way too many, law enforcement there on the ground and in the air, and you would think at this point he would just kind of give up, but we rarely know what these suspects are thinking and all of that. But there's less lethal there. There's lethal. There's an airship. They've got this guy. They've got him, and hopefully he'll comply and not make the situation any worse than it already is.
Well, the door's still open, Mike. That foot still touching the ground there, so we haven't seen any extra movement of him trying to get back in there and back the car out of the area there. I'm wondering when they do the pit, does the car somehow, I guess it all depends on how violent the pit was, does it make the car inoperable at all?
It's
Breaking
designed to
news here,
disable
Fox
it,
11
and so it's
taking
designed
you
to
the
stall it
end of
out.
a
So when they
pursuit.
spin it around,
What happened here?
Oh, no, Fox, what are you doing? What are they doing? I don't know where that Fox thing is at.
It's now
Out
in
here.
the opposite.
I don't know what they're doing, trying to get everybody copyright clean. This one's zoomed in, so I want to keep with this
well,
one.
they're not going to do it in this situation because they believe the person's armed and don't want to create a crossfire situation. But in general, you would have the one unit pull to the front of the car like they are, and then you would have an additional unit come in and block it either from the back or the side. That would prevent it from being able to go
But
anywhere.
they never go behind the
But
car.
they don't want to do
just
that because
of that
yeah,
danger.
you'll be in a crossfire situation if there was gunfire that is exchanged or anything
Yeah.
like that. You wouldn't want any officers to be in that line of fire.
Those police cruisers assembled incredibly quick right there. And
really
here we
did.
go. Now it's the waiting game as to when this guy is going to decide to give up. And you see those officers right there giving him hand signals. They're clearly communicating with him. They're pretty close to him, too. So it's impossible for this person, unless they don't speak English, to to understand what's
Yeah.
going on here, right?
Well,
Yeah.
and that's been, so during the chase, they were also communicating with him like this. So
Okay.
he was going so slow, under 5 miles an hour, that the windows were down. The officers were shouting things at him, and he was basically doing the same thing, like, no thanks, I'm good, go away. Obviously, that didn't work out. And now that, what appears to be, I don't know, heated, but at least a passionate conversation there by that suspect towards those officers.
Yeah, and if you can show us a little bit as well, like what is around this car? Is that residential, or are those homes right on the other side of that sidewalk? And what else is around this?
Yeah.
Oh, foot went inside.
Yeah, this is
boy.
a residential neighborhood right here on Winnetka at Superior. So definitely residential. Just about a mile south of the 118 right now, and Winnetka, very busy thoroughfare.
Door
Now
closed.
the door's closing again. Definitely not a good sign. A lot of words being exchanged. Definitely looks agitated. He's, definitely, we had heard about some agitation at the beginning. There was a line as well, some chatter on the frequency that they had reason to believe that the suspect could be under the influence as well. Not sure how, they made that determination, but, if that's the case, they suspect that. They also suspect that this person has a knife, and now the vehicle moving
reverse.
again.
There we
Wow.
go.
So,
They're going to pin him in, maybe.
After such a great pit maneuver and, so many false starts and
They're
spinning
gonna-
the vehicle around like that,
boy.
now he's getting into reverse.
There we
What
go.
are they going to do right now? So,
there you go.
thought
He's out.
It was going to be over.
The little scion.
It is definitely not over.
He's out.
And
He's
now
out.
what are they
go
going to do?
again.
Some people there that got kind of close.
I don't-
And, now you're not going to want to do a pit in a small residential area here. But on Superior Street, a lot of people out here walking around. And again, with schools getting out too, very nerve-wracking. So, wow, we'll see how LAPD is going to react to this kind of shocking turn of events.
Yeah, I thought that there were officers on the other side just trying to block the street, but maybe they were down another block down, perhaps, that they couldn't stop them from going down this street.
Yeah, that coordination was coming. They were trying to get additional units to block traffic, but it doesn't sound like they had gotten there yet. What'll be interesting to see, now we're back to super low speeds, which is kind of how we started this.
School.
Yeah, right next to a school. But I'll be interested to see if the damage, because there is some damage, I think, on the passenger side where they did the pit. So we'll see if that's impacting the car's ability to do anything kind of crazy here or not. It's hard to tell because this is how this pursuit started where, sounds like 2 flat tires, I think I just heard. So maybe on the passenger side.
Yeah,
Looks
I
like,
heard that as well.
Was he just on the phone there too, Des?
He looks like he's texting or something.
Yeah,
Texting.
well, I would
Texting
be
and driving.
surprised if he's live streaming this or looks like maybe FaceTiming someone. I mean, it's just become way too common for a lot of these suspects to get on social media and start pleading their case, saying they're innocent or whatever, and getting all of this attention out that they don't want to pit right now because they're right around this school. And,
Yeah.
so now the suspect may be, kind of using that to their advantage right now, but was definitely on the phone. And it looked like I could see someone on the screen, maybe like
Yeah, it did look
was
like
either
that.
video chatting or live streaming something. The window's down, and getting kind of another view at that right now. But does the suspect have a rap sheet? Or are they just kind of running out the clock because they know they're going to be headed away once this finally does come to an end? But boy, just really the audacity there of kind of faking out the officers opening the door like they're going to give it up. And just kidding, we're still going.
Yeah.
So we're on Maria here, Maria at Jovita in Chatsworth headed westbound.
And we're just showing our viewers
Oh,
there all
another
the
pit,
different
another pit.
maneuvers
Oh,
this
he
driver
missed
did
it, he
before
missed
finally
it.
coming to a. What's going on?
like
Another
they're
one,
trying to do
another
it
one.
again.
They tried. They barely kissed the
Yeah.
bumper,
Bebo.
and then they lost it. And they're trying to be
Another
very
one.
cognizant of pedestrians in the area, that school. We've heard them talking about that. So they're trying to take the opportunities where they can, but it's just so residential in the middle of the day.
So
Kids getting out of
again.
school.
Yeah.
He sees it though. He's speeding up.
You can see they
It's a
really
narrow
want it.
street too. Yeah, a narrow street too as well. I mean, could definitely damage some other.
Oh,
turning on
Lord.
the wrong side around that bus, kind of blind as well.
Oh, my
a blind
goodness.
turn there onto the wrong side of the road. Definitely crazy out on Mason Street, kind of a medium-sized street right here.
Another
And let's
pit,
see him
another
come in
pit.
Here we go
again, see if
again.
they can hit him again. Try and make
Oh,
contact, couldn't quite
survived
spin him
it.
around at that point, but boy, I mean, it's crazy.
It's coming
here.
back.
We
It's
haven't
coming
seen
back.
this kind of aggression with LAPD, I feel like, in quite some time. Southbound on
It's
Mason
Mayor
Avenue.
Bass.
And on surface streets too, right? It's very different to see it happen like this right now with so much traffic going on. Narrow streets, as you said, Desmond. We're near schools, we're near homes, and a driver that may be impaired, maybe a DUI suspect too, maybe and somebody who has a knife as well. So lots of factors playing in here.
That is exactly why they were trying to pull this person
Yeah.
over in the first place, assault with a deadly weapon. That weapon we have heard was a knife, perhaps. So they definitely want to get this person off of the road here, but he's really making it difficult for them.
Well,
Back
he's
up
going
on
to
the
stop on his
sidewalk.
own now.
Yeah, you can see. Maybe, and yeah, I mean, he's got those. So we'll see if we can see those tires. But yeah, I can see the rear passenger side is definitely flat. Of course, it's a tree.
good,
So it's right in front of
yeah.
the tree. Well, yeah, Dylan will get us around it. But you can see the side skirt was
Pulled the
damaged there
vehicle
as well
over to the side of the road. Now boxed himself
on the passenger
in
side of the
with the
vehicle.
other
That was
car
kinda
there.
starting. So this vehicle has definitely gotten beat up here with the definitely collisions with LAPD as we get around the trees here. Cozy Croft and Plummer here in Chatsworth is where we're at. And let's see, coming to a stop again, if probably realizing that the vehicle doesn't have too much more in it as we maneuver around these trees.
Fox has a good angle.
Maneuvers there, strange action there by the driver in the vehicle. Talking to somebody, gesturing to himself, not sure. On the cell phone with somebody, not sure. Looks like he is agitated in some way. Looks like he's communicating in some way, or again, talking to himself. So here we are in Chatsworth. I want to say end of a pursuit, but let's just take a second here and just watch, see what happens here.
Uh-oh.
LAPD, for their own safety, not moving in. They have been told that this is a suspect, assault with a deadly weapon suspect who had a knife. It might just be a waiting game here now for a minute as this driver decides what the next move is going to be. Remember, at that last pit maneuver that was very effective, that driver had the door open and a foot out, but clearly not ready to comply. LAPD wants those keys tossed to the ground, out of the vehicle, because you saw what could happen. I mean, now there is room for that driver to put that car into reverse a little bit and pull forward and continue this pursuit. This by no means is over, even though it would appear that the vehicle is blocked in. Officer safety, first and foremost. There we go, door open. Okay, perhaps this driver is saying, I'm done, it's over. Let's keep a watch here. Or just a waiting game. So because LAPD knows who the victim is, and they've been on this pursuit for a while, I'm wondering if they know who the suspect is. Does this person have a criminal track record? Do they know the name of this person? We're not hearing this was a stolen vehicle. Are they in communication with family? Is the victim somebody this person knew? Is it domestic? Is it family? These are questions that we don't have the information. LAPD may have the information. Who knows when that person appeared to be talking? Could it be a phone call with family? Could it have been a phone call with a negotiator from the LAPD? Not sure. All right. Okay. We're hearing now from CNS, City News Service, that police are saying 2 of the SUV tires appear to be flat. So I'm thinking they were able to deploy a spike strip in some fashion, which means harder to drive the vehicle. Perhaps that driver was sensing a loss of control of the vehicle as well, but 2 flat tires does help bring this more to a close. Wide shot there. All right, so Chatsworth here looks like a much more industrial or office space type of complex area versus residential. So anybody who works in this area advised to keep your doors locked in case the suspect makes a run for it, to stay indoors and allow police to do their work. The good news here, there's not a home nearby. You don't see children walking home from school nearby. LAPD can just sit and wait this out for a long time. We've seen them bring other pursuits to an end in different ways. We've seen Bearcats come in and block in a vehicle. So really the suspect, it's that show of force where the suspect is thinking there's no way out. They have the dogs. They could always send in the dog in something like this. Again, this suspect is said to have a knife. That's a deadly weapon. So with that, perhaps a dog isn't your best source
bring the dog.
for police activity right now for bringing this to a close because you don't want the dog to get hurt.
Is he crying?
So we're just going to sit here and see if this driver is willing to listen to the commands of the officers. You can imagine that they are shouting commands to step out of the vehicle, of course, to show your hands. Hard to tell the age of this driver. The street is near Cozy Croft Avenue and Plummer Street in Chatsworth. This could be a very long night. LAPD wanting to bring this to an end safely. You have to feel for everybody in those office buildings nearby. That means they may not be going anywhere just yet. LAPD wants to keep the area clear. Again, we've not heard of any other weapon besides a knife tied to this suspect, but you don't know the extent to which this person is wanting to get away or wanting to cause themselves harm. Again, don't know if this driver intentionally pulled behind this car or because the vehicle has flat tires, 2 of them, according to City News Service, that this was the best way to just pull over. Looks like the driver stayed hydrated there, taking a drink there, but no effort to come out, which often makes you wonder, is there some kind of mental distress there? Okay, the driver looking back, communicating in some fashion with the negotiators there, with the LAPD. They are, of course, issuing commands to come out of the vehicle, and I'm guessing toss those keys out of the vehicle. Of course, show the hands, given that this is considered a suspect with a knife. What the holdup here is, not sure if this suspect is under some kind of influence. The driving wasn't crazy erratic. It was fairly safe driving, besides going into the wrong direction of traffic from time to time. But for whatever reason, this suspect is not wanting this day to come to an end just yet. Don't know if this person has prior record in which they know the story of being in jail and perhaps in prison. So they're just delaying this moment of freedom for as long as they can. Looks like there's some kind of acknowledgement, if not communication, back and forth there. Again, we have seen LAPD use other weapons, such as non-lethal shots fired into a vehicle, gas fired into a vehicle, which has a suspect often coming out quite quickly. I think they are trying to negotiate with this person, knowing that, you look at the shadow of the guns drawn, look at the shadow there. Knowing that the area is pretty clear of any kind of pedestrian traffic as long as those people stay inside those office buildings. It doesn't look like an overly busy street in which you have a lot of street traffic that would be trying to come through. Looks like this is a fairly controlled part of town, fairly controlled section, fairly controlled stop here. So for LAPD, it seems like this is, this is their situation well handled. Now, the actions of the suspect are what determines what happens next. So, Sky Fox right here overhead in the Chatsworth area, as we sit and wait, again, more communication, more negotiation by LAPD to bring this peacefully to a resolution. The suspect has to know he's leaving in handcuffs. The suspect has to know an arrest is going to happen. If there was an assault with a deadly weapon and the victim led police to this suspect, then the suspect knows what happened. So we will sit and wait this out with you. It's one of those things where we cover so many pursuits and we wait for them to come to an end, and sometimes they can be longer in process than shorter. Of course, President Trump is speaking tonight. We'll carry that here on Fox 11 at 6. We have our newscast at 5. Okay, more action? Slightly. Not really. Okay. 1 foot out. We've seen this before where there's been 1 foot out the door. no matter the circumstances here, it's got to be a terrifying experience to have that amount of law enforcement with guns aimed at you. The average person, you think, would readily comply and readily want to end this. But this suspect obviously is having some troubles today and not wanting to be taken into custody. And who knows the circumstances behind this assault with a deadly weapon. Again, we don't know if it was a family member, a random victim, an innocent person that's caught up in something. We don't know the story.
You're
but
married to her?
LAPD may know exactly who this person is.
The conversation
Again,
just
more
nonstop.
communication here. Because they've been in touch with the victim, they may know exactly who they're dealing with. They may have had encounters with this person before. There may be an arrest record. There may have been calls to this location before. A lot of things that we're not privy to right now, but LAPD obviously has the information before them. So as the suspect took a drink, I'm going to take a drink here, and we just sit and kind of wait this out for a moment. I said wait this out for a moment. We could be here hours upon hours. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
He got
Some
tired of the
action
lady.
here. All
He
right.
got tired of the broadcaster.
So the suspect now is out of the vehicle. Reluctantly. This is coming to an end one way or another. Police want to make sure they can see the hands of the suspect. They're going to ask him to step away from the vehicle. I haven't seen any keys tossed out and away to let them know that he's not going to jump back in and try to floor that vehicle into reverse or pull forward. Okay, he's moving away from the vehicle. Hands up. There you go. All right, suspect's going to comply here. Looks like LAPD can perhaps get this person probably on their knees, on the ground, just for a little bit more safety. It's a young person. This person looks fairly strong and healthy. Could make a run for it, could hurt an officer. There you go. They're going to bring him to the ground. It's not overly hot out, so that pavement isn't scorchingly hot like we have on some summer days. So they might even have that suspect lay down. That's right. Put those hands out, feet crossed, so it's not so easy to get up. Again, this is a young, fit person here, so that comes into play when officers decide to make their moves as they do with their guns drawn. So as long as the suspect complies, LAPD can move in and make this arrest. Okay, they're checking the vehicle first to make sure there's nobody else in the vehicle. There's no other threat to police.
Yeah.
Looks like this suspect has decided this day is over. This pursuit is over. We are again in the Chatsworth area. This is an industrial type complex, it looks like, or an office space area. And there are vehicles there, so people are probably looking out their window right now. There you go, LAPD moving in right now. Those officers there. Safety first in mind. They have their guns drawn there. They did not again send in the dog. Again, if this is the person with a knife, we've all heard of dogs getting hurt by somebody with a knife, so they did not use that tactic. And there you go. Suspect is now in custody here.
That sounds like a robot.
Our thoughts are, of course, with the victim, who this started as an assault with a deadly weapon. Don't know if there were any injuries or what happened with that victim, but apparently they were able to follow this person and perhaps lead police to this pursuit and lead this to an end. And there you go. And that's exactly...
Is that the knife?
Yeah, not sure what's on the ground there. Is that a knife? Is that a car key? And I'm not sure what that is, and I don't remember seeing anything
looks like a
thrown
toy.
out, but they're picking that up as evidence. Okay.
It was like a
So
toy.
whatever that is, police want that as evidence. Hard to tell what that is. Okay, so there you have the end of that pursuit. Plummer Street and Cozy Croft, that's the way you want it to end. Law enforcement going home safely.
I get like trying to fill in the space, but yeah, she really had like a detail for everything. I never even thought about like the condition of somebody having to lay down and the floor is hot, and she's talking about the temperature of the floor and the person laying in the sweltering heat with their body pressed against the floor and spreading their arms and stuff. That was crazy. All right. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. The Trump thing is tonight. I guess I'll do it. It's supposed to be big, man. I don't know. I guess I'll do it. Tonight's Trump. I gotta make a thumbnail. Tonight's supposed to be some type of big address. Could be drama. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be what it's gonna be about. No, Trump. Trump can talk too, though. That's Stu's replacement. Maybe because he was talking shit the other day. I forgot who he was talking about. Some broadcaster or something. Or not, some type of meeting or something. I'm just kidding. I hope they didn't replace him. But I was like, oh, man. At 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock tonight. No, honey, I want to talk. We don't have more time talking. Oh, God. God help me. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll catch you later, I guess, with this Trump stuff. No, I don't think he got fired. He was saying something on a broadcast the other day, and people were kind of tweeting it out. But I think he's fine. No, Chris, don't say that, man. No. No, bro. Damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. All right, guys, I will catch you later. The chase where the person threw off the wig, yeah, that was crazy. You say ABC 7. ABC. And about 1, 2, 3. Oh. Well, they're showing the old chase. I guess they're doing like a replay or something.
Or driving, it's just a heavier area of.
They're showing the old chase. They're showing it like it's new. That's weird. Trump tonight. Big night. I'm going to go to that, make a thumbnail.
Accelerate terribly fast, but certainly fast enough to exceed the speed limit and certainly fast enough to do some damage if anybody gets.
I'm not sure why they're playing the old chase. Oh, previously recorded. Okay.
Pilgrimage to the Lord's crucifixion, which always leads to the resurrection. The passion leads to new life. Ukrainians believe in life. They believe in their dignity.
Oh, man. All right. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. I think I am. I'm on the fence with Trump tonight.